Mixing palettes for watercolor painting review. In this series of helpful watercolor tips and tricks, we will look at different kind of mixing palettes. Let's start with the most common in use plastic palettes, which many beginners start with. Almost all watercolor sets have a place where you can mix watercolors, but the main reason I don't like plastic palettes is when you try to mix, the water with pigment roll over in one little place and it looks like you don't have anything pre-mixed. Everything just rolls to the side, to the middle, separates one from each other. But the good thing about plastic palettes, they are super light, especially when you need to go on a travel, no extra weight. After using some time plastic palettes, I tried mixing on an old ceramic plates. That is a great choice, and ceramic surface really allows you to mix watercolors and the watercolors will stay in that place where are you mixing. And you can always leave watercolors there and come back again. After finishing painting, you can cover with plastic wrap and leave it for other time when you will be ready to paint. Next thing, I bought a very big one and a heavy one ceramic palette. It's super heavy, as you can hear how it falls on the table. It was beautiful, practical, yes, but super heavy. Next, I found a sushi plate in a grocery store. It was smaller than the previous one, much lighter, and as you can see, you can place pigments around the core edge line and mix watercolors straight on the palette, picking up the pigment from the sides, mixing straight in the middle part. The downside of this palette was that all watercolor mixes started to mix together while you're painting, and that wasn't helping my painting process. Next one's also sushi plates. I found also in the grocery store. They had 3 sections, which is better than the previous one, some kind of separation. These plates are convenient for a larger painting process. It is also nice to have some fancy type of mixing palette. Found this plate at a local fair, but it's just for beautiful pictures, not so practical, but nice to have it. After many mixing plates, sushi plates, I decided to create my own ceramic palettes with dividing sections, places for brushes. They are very handy in my painting process, and I have for different paintings different color palettes. Let's compare side by side plastic and ceramic palette. On the plastic, applying ultramarine blue and the same amount of ultramarine blue to ceramic palette. Pigment stays in one place, and that is the most important for me in the painting process. What to do with palettes after painting session. When you finish a painting or finish painting for the day, there's one thing you can do with palettes. Wash them. Many artists after painting are washing palettes. No, you don't need to do that. Only if the colors stayed there like for maybe a few years, then they start to crack, they're too dry, and that is not the nicest thing to paint with. Even if I add water, I can make them alive, but still there will be little small particles of pigments that are too dry left. My suggestion is cover and store for the next time. Using a plastic wrap, cover your palette. You can just cover with a paper towel and leave it for the night. Conclusion. There are so many available palettes that you can find online in art shops. Also, you can find a ceramic plate in your kitchen. In my studio, I use a ceramic palette, but choosing plastic palette when going out to paint. Try and experiment to see for yourself what suits better for you. Thanks for watching and see you in my next tutorial.